Hey guys, it's just all from Craft Imaginations. I wanted to do a video of a Hamsa hand incense holder I did a little while back when I was testing some mica powders from Eyecandy. And the way I did this Hamsa hand is I put a little coat of mica powders on the bottom, and I like to do molds that are somewhat thicker in layers. So this is the first layer, and if you notice here, I like to use a pattern design to overlap as well as contrast my colors to make it a whole lot easier to mix. The reason for this is because when you lay down your resin with your micas, whatever you lay on the bottom is the foundation, and that tends to move very little as opposed to the top. So a lot of artists, what they do is they pour and they do the mixing on the top, but what they don't know is that the bottom doesn't quite mix, and the bottom does not ever look like what it looks on the top. So what you see right now is what you will never be seeing, because this mold, when it's finished, is going to be flipped over. So my goal is always to make the bottom look better. And so what I do here is I like to pour in layers and try to go for the best design possible. I like to use toothpicks to give a little more way into how I do the mixing. I am able to get into the little tiny corners, pop those bubbles, and get a little more control over the product. So I normally use one. Sometimes I use 2 or 3. In this case, I wanted to use 3. So I am able to move resin a whole lot more than as if I were to use just one kebab stick. And the reason for this is because I want it to all flow smoothly, evenly, and grab all the colors all together, so that when it dries and cures, it gives me the color shift. I wanted to try this technique because I've been dying to try it. I don't necessarily thought I wanted to keep this, but I just wanted to try it and see how it would look. And I will say that I am impressed that I thought of it and went for it, considering I was just testing it out and not necessarily looking to have a final product with this. I am kind of upset though that I didn't keep this, but I know that I can redo it, so I'll just go ahead and do it again. Now, this is what I was actually trying to accomplish, and is to use my heat gun in order to mix it and try to give it that color shifting technique without actually using color shifting micas. And in order to achieve this, I figure I would use more than one color mica, similar in color, that kind of gave a little complementing to each other, so to speak. And so I figured that if I were to do this and mix them but blend them more so with the heat gun, I could actually accomplish this. And now this was a shot in the dark, and I'm happy I did, because the end result was phenomenal. I am not sure if I can actually do this with any other colors, but I am certainly going to try again. Now, I will say though that doing this made the resin very, very fluid and watery, so I would be careful if you are to try this yourself. Here is the final product of me trying to do some type of color shifting. And since I mentioned that I did micas on the mold before I poured, here is what that looks like. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.